Let's take a look at what's going on in the world now. A right-wing coalition is set to take over the Italian government following the country's latest general election. The right-wing alliance, led by the Brothers of Italy party and headed by Giorgia Meloni, looks likely to win a majority of seats in both houses of parliament. This amid a record low turnout with just 63.83% voting, nearly 10% lower than 2018. The result means Italy will likely see its first ever female prime minister, as well as its most right-wing parliament since World War II. According to exit poll figures, Meloni's coalition is set to win between 41 and 45% of the vote, with the opposing centre-left alliance set to grab less than 30% of the vote. A victory by the right-wing coalition could make it harder for Europe to present a united front on the Ukraine war. Despite Meloni's promise to support Western policy on the conflict, her coalition partners have questioned sanctions placed on Moscow. At least one person has been killed and several houses have been washed into sea after Hurricane Fiona made landfall in Canada on Saturday. According to local authorities, a 73-year-old woman in Newfoundland was swept away when part of her home was destroyed by a wave. With wind speeds of up to 170 kilometers per hour, the storm hit Canada's east coast, affecting 5 provinces. At least 8 houses in Newfoundland's Port aux Basques have been swept away and another 20 severely damaged, leaving 200 people in need of shelter. Hundreds of thousands of people were left without electricity across 5 of Canada's provinces since Saturday. The government has sent around 100 troops to help clear the debris so that technicians can restore power. Voters in Cuba headed to the polls on Sunday in a landmark referendum that could turn the tables on the country's machista culture. Known as the Family Code, the government-supported proposal would legalize gay marriage and adoption, allow surrogate pregnancies, and expand non-biological parents' rights. However, it has been met with resistance by Cuba's church communities, with changes made to 25 drafts, following over 79,000 neighborhood meetings and 300,000 public suggestions. There are also concerns over protest voting due to the island nation's worst economic crisis in 30 years. Over 8 million voters are expected to turn out, with a simple majority needed for the proposal to pass. And in our final story, hundreds of paragliders took to the skies above the French Alps over the weekend. They were taking part in the Coup Icar or Icarus Cup, a 5-day event of aerial acrobatics, hang gliders, paragliders, and hot air balloons. Gliders also competed for the best costume in the e-carnival, wearing everything from a Top Gun F-14 jet to Queen Elizabeth, and even a duo playing billiards mid-flight. Following 2 years of reduced attendances, the annual paragliding contest made an almost full return, seeing some 90,000 spectators. Held in the village of Saint-Hilaire, the Coup Icar started in the 1970s, with the creative costumes coming 13 years later. Matthew Ashley, Arirang News.